So this movie is pretty much a store brand Jaws with a Satan collab and a little bit of Jennifer's Body sprinkled in there. And I hate to shit on this movie because it really just seems like somebody's low budget passion project, but I'm going to anyway. So pretty much this movie is horribly scripted. They went with the first draft and they just stuck with it pretty much. It's horribly acted. It's like this guy went into a bar and just got like strangers, like really drunk, and they just ended up dropping on him, "Hey, you want to be in my movie?" And then that's pretty much how it happened. The scenes go on for like ever. There's this scene where this paranormal investigator, her body is like convulsing, and it goes on for like a minute 30 seconds, just her on the ground like convulsing for no reason. And then there's like this scene with the possessed girl and this guy she met in the lake, and they're just like playing in the water and like splashing each other for like pretty much 2 minutes. Every time there was a shark attack, it was always in shallow water. They never went out into deep water. It's always water where they can like stand and you could see that they're in the shallow part of the lake, and they still get attacked by a shark somehow. There are these puke scenes that are like straight out of The Exorcist that they just keep doing like back to back, and it's just so nasty and so unnecessary. Just like most of the scenes in this movie. So pretty much it starts off. There's this nun in a cemetery, and she's walking around, and she goes up to the water, and it's all peaceful and serene, and then this chick comes out of nowhere and she's like, "You fucking bitch, you fucking bitch, I know what you did, I know what you did, you fucking bitch." And she's like screaming at the nun, and out of nowhere the nun pulls out a knife and just stabs the girl out of nowhere. That's how I knew immediately this I was in for a treat, because I was like, oh my god. But it looked so funny the way it happens. And then the nun pushes her in the water and like sacrifices her, and in comes Satan Shark, and yeah. So moving on, there's like these three friends, and they all go up to the lake, and there's like a leader girl, Emily. There's like a quiet girl, Allie, and there's this really dumb, obnoxious girl, Jennifer. And Jennifer is just like so annoying. She's like saying the dumbest stuff, like, "This better be a really good water park," and Emily's like, "It's not a water park, it's just a regular lake," and she's like, "Well, it better have a wave pool," and she's just so dumb. So they do that. They go to the lake. Allie gets like possessed and attacked, and she gets this scratch on her leg. It's like the tiniest scratch ever, like known to mankind, and she just convulses over that for like a long time, and so she becomes possessed basically. And then a year later, or no, that all happened a year after the nun sacrificed the girl. So she gets possessed. The dumb girl goes to an arcade. For some reason, they're at the arcade. They're talking about how she cheated on. She was the one that Allie's boyfriend was cheating on. It was like some drama. And then it goes to the paranormal investigator, which who has like no role in this movie. She's just like there to say like, "Oh, Satan's in this lake, guys." And eventually there's this chick that shows up that's like a a faker like exposer, and she's like claiming, yeah, you're a fucking fraud, blah 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 blah, and this whole storyline happens for like no reason. And then it goes back to the friends, and it shows how Allie is getting like more, like she just likes to soak in the tub all day because she's possessed by a shark, I guess. And it just shows her like killing a bunch of people. She acts as like this seductress that like lures people in and just like kills them in the water basically. And then there in comes this priest who the first time we see him it's just like he's at a table and there are books everywhere and he has just like all these acting books. It's like they couldn't get any like other props and those were the only books they had on hand, so they just put a bunch of acting books around him and they were trying to make him look like the scholarly holy father or whatever. And then he finds out his brother was killed by Allie and somehow deduces that Allie is possessed by Satan Shark, which they never gave a cool name to. I feel like there's a cool name you could have probably given to like the Satan Shark, but now I'm here forced calling it just like a Satan Shark. But so the priest and joins up with the leader girl Emily, and while they're doing that there's this scene with like a coven of witches and they're at a cemetery and they're doing something and one of the girls dies or something, and then we never see them again. It was just like a pointless scene. And then so the priest and the leader girl catches Allie, the possessed girl, because she's about to kill her ex-boyfriend at the fair. They all somehow know that everybody's at the fair for some reason, like out of no information, no context, because the dumb girl was at the fair with the ex-boyfriend and then Allie shows up and then the priest and the leader shows up. The leader, Emily, shows up out of nowhere. So then they catch Allie somehow. They don't show how. They just cut to her like tied up on a tree, and the priest like goes like the power of Christ command you or something, and tries to get the Satan Shark out of Allie, and then she does the Exorcist puke thing, and it's really nasty. They do it like 3 times. Because before that, there was this scene with the faker and the paranormal investigator, who, by the way, always has to, like, read the script. And there was one scene, she even messed up her line completely, and they just rolled with it. And, like, she just fixed it, and they just rolled with it. She throws up on the chick that's calling her a fraud. Just like green smoothie just right on her face. It was so nasty. I felt so bad for that girl. But so anyway, they have Allie tied up. It's like the scene from The Exorcist basically. And Allie makes a deal, or like the demon in Allie makes a deal with the priest to switch bodies, to release Allie and go to the priest. And so they do that. Then the priest gets possessed. Then he bites Emily, the leader girl. And then she gets possessed. And then the dumb girl one day sees Emily like walking on the dock and she's about to get in the water. And she's like, Emily, tell me what's wrong. I just really want to know what's wrong. And then Emily is like, you don't want to know, you don't want to know. And then she jumps in the water and the Satan Shark just comes out of the water and kills Jennifer, and that's the entire movie. Yeah, so there's not a lot of good things to say about this, other than that It had some decent shots, like okay camera work. The score was not bad. The score was pretty good. Like some of the music, some of it was really out of place or like just kept on repeating and repeating. But it honestly was kind of decent. And I guess the last good thing I'd say about it is like at least it knows what it is. It didn't take itself like super seriously. It it kept like kind of making fun of itself, but I mean that's pretty much because it was just a complete joke. But yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching. Next time I will be dipping my entire hand into a vat of nuclear waste and seeing if I can pull up any material. So, yeah.